appreciate everybody for tapping in again. Out the Chair podcast. We got a special guest today. Before we get into our guests, we want to let y'all know what we chose to drink on today. Brother D, can you hand me that drink?
What's this, the Douce, right?
Yes, sir. So we decided to go with that Douce. I heard what that Douce say. Your girl do whatever you say. So we got our guy, my brother, Keyon Clinton.
What's up,
1% Better Nation.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you for coming in, man.
Oh, for sure. Appreciate y'all, man. Excited. Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Before we get into all that, I want to do something we do every week on the podcast. We do a little mental health check-in. So I want to ask y'all brothers, how y'all mental, man?
I started off, man. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. It's definitely a blessing to be here. I put my mental health probably at about a solid 8. A solid 8. And I'm at an 8, man. I just had a baby.
Congratulations, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. The newborn is definitely putting a toll on me, you know what I'm saying? But it's all a blessing, though, you know what I'm saying? A healthy baby, so, I'm just taking it day by day. What about you, brother? Where's your mental health at right now?
Man, I'm in an interesting space, man. Interesting space. On one side, I'm in full calling, full element, so I'm living on my purpose every single day, completely free. And then on the other side, I just lost my father.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, man, appreciate that. So I'm at probably about 6.5, 7, just because I'm putting the pieces back together. But again, when you in full calling, full gifting, it gives you a different level of strength and capacity to deal with the bumps and bruises along the way. So, so even with that, we still moving forward in a positive light. So I'm happy to be here, though. You feel me?
Appreciate
yeah.
that,
Big facts.
Where you at, D?
I think right now I'm in a good position right now with mental health. I think I'm about a 9, 10 for real, moving into the spring months.
That's good.
Just getting ready. I consider the new year, man. The spring to be a new year. I don't really go with the, the calendar we go by, so to say. But I consider the spring like the new year, so I'm in good spirits.
That's what I'm
mental. I'm getting into, you know what I'm saying, just going with the flow, bro.
That's better than last show. What do you say?
Yeah, what I said.
7 or 8?
I said an 8. I said an 8 the first one.
That's good, man. I love hearing that. But I say me, like Keyon said, like I'm here, there for my calling. So I feel like I'm in a good space. Like I'm at about an 8, 8.59. Mm-hmm. Just because like everything ain't all bad, but everything is good.
Yeah.
I say about a 9.
Dope, man.
With all that being said, I just want to say, we got to start checking on our brothers and our sisters, and you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We hit people up to go out to drink and have fun and
That's good.
socialize, but at the end of the day, sometimes they just need the how you doing text or the if you need to vent, just call me.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful and check on your people.
Sure. So Keyon, man, Keyon.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Like what started your 1% Better in your fitness journey?
For sure, man. Like, so born and raised from the city of Detroit, East Side, 48205, Red Zone. And
That's why you got red on?
I came ready, right? But no, so I mean, life was interesting. I started selling drugs at the age of 9. And I mean, I've seen it all: drugs, violence, gangs, all of that. And single parent mom, 4 boys growing up. So it was rough, and I've been able to kind of persevere through all of that, graduate. I was born with the Michigan State, got my degree in electrical engineering, and it took me 7 years to get my degree. And after I got it, within 3 years, I retired from engineering. So I actually retired at the age of 28. Most people couldn't believe you're gonna walk away from a 6-figure job, a career, to walk into your calling. But as I tell people, I didn't quit my job, I hired myself. So I started betting on me, and things started happening. And in 2017, I was homeless for 8 months. And I remember on one end, it was like my speaking career was blowing up. I mean, I spoke in a stadium in front of 40,000 people, and then in my head, I was like, but I'm about to go sleep in my car. Yeah. So I was in an interesting space. It was one of those, you don't have to look like what you're going through seasons, right? And I remember talking to God like, man, tired. I'm ready to give it up. I'm ready to throw it away. And then God said, man, you chasing the big stuff, but you're not appreciating the small things in life.
I ain't want to cut you off. What you mean? Throw it away, man.
Just what I was chasing, you know, like I was like, you know, I can go back and get a job, make $100,000, you know, like at this point, the money wasn't rolling in as fast enough, you know, the success wasn't blowing up quick enough for me. So, you know, when God tell you that you called to do something, sometimes we feel like it's supposed to happen overnight. And when it don't, it's like, I start questioning you or what? So I was ready to just throw in a towel. And God was like, stop chasing the big stuff. And I was like, man, if I can just get a little bit better every day, I'll be grateful.
You're talking about the speaking. You
feel me? Like I'll be grateful. And that's when he birthed 1% Better in my spirit right there, and being homeless in my car, ready to give up. And ever since then, I'm like, look, I'm gonna just get 1% better every day. And I start putting that message out here, and 15 countries later, 30 states later, international speaking, you know, best-selling author, 2-time award-winning bodybuilder, Forbes list maker, all of those things came one day at a time, one opportunity at a time, right? One conversation at a time. So, I mean, that's how we got started. And it's amazing how in that valley, man, God can show you what it looks like to be at the top, but you just got to start climbing. And that's why we here now.
Yes, sir. One big point I just got from what you said that I think a lot of people should understand is when you going through like them dark times, God shines his brightest light in the dark moments.
Absolutely.
So 1% Better came from a dark moment.
Yeah, facts.
Really, I like what you said when you introduced yourself. You said that I can't really quote you on it verbatimly, but what you say, you said like when you, I guess, like chosen or, you know, one of them ones, like you got a different strength as far as like handling like, you know, problems that's thrown at you.
Yeah.
Like not too long ago, December 19th, my brother died. He was 17. He got killed.
Wow.
And like, I just remember, bro, like I had to come in, still, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Still, you know what I'm saying? So I get exactly what you're saying. How important you feel like it is to be transparent with, like, your come up, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause there's a lot of people out here that might want to listen, but you know what I'm saying? So how important is it to be like transparent and just like 100% authentic to people that's watching and unintentionally that's not watching, that you don't know that's, you know, watching you?
It's everything. You know, the truth of your transparency is what show people that you're human. At the end of the day, like, it's great to show your wins and your highlights and listen, bro, we done made 6 figures, about to be 7 soon, and you rolling and all. That's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great to win, but here's the story that a lot in the song started from the bottom. Now we here. Started from the bottom. Now we here. That's cool. But at some point, we get tired of hearing the same song, reading the same story. It's like, what did you go through to get you in a position where you was like, man, you know what? I just got tired, bro. But I struggled with this. I had insecurities here. I had all of these things that I was afraid to show because I started to think about what would people think about me.
You think that shit just became cool to like, basically like, let the world know, like, be super transparent about like what you went through in order to get where you at? You think that shit like just became a cool thing to do? Because a lot of people, like you said, would be scared or like
absolutely
stand off about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely I don't think that it just became like a trend, if you will. Right. But what I would say to that is, the world we living in now, without personality, nothing else really grows. When you think about business, when you think about companies, they got out of just business structure. They start going into, let me find some influencers because we need people, right? And people is just full of what? Personality. So, and then the truth is, your story is your glory. At the end of the day, your story is who you are. It's your DNA. You can't run from it. So if I promote this perfect image and perfect guy from the last 5 years of my life, there's somebody that's going to see me 10 years from now like, he wasn't always like that, right? So, and you can't run from your truth. So I think the reality is we just starting to get exposed more because the world we live in with social media and all that, to where it's like, tell people about the adversity. Because the adversity is what's going to help that normal person feel like, you know what, I can do it because he's doing it. And he showed me, you know, that. And that's, to me, I have an audience that love me for being transparent.
So it's like the social media damn near is like It's exposing the evolution.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it was made for, to expose the good and the ugly, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's where it's at. It's like, whatever you put out, just make sure it's your truth. And your people gonna rock with you regardless. Yeah. I don't want 100 people, 100 million people around me that don't really like me for me, but like me for what I got on and what I could do. It's like, because at some point, like right now, my father passed. I'm Superman in my community to some people. But right now, I got to be Clark Kent. The cape had to come off. And I know, even in that moment, I seen how some people start looking at me like, wait, Keyon is human? Yeah. I don't know if I like this person. It's like, no, I've always been human. You just decided to see me in that highlight. Now I'm just like, today I don't feel like it. Right? So that's kind of what the social media has exposed for us.
Man.
Yeah.
So you said in in 2017, you demanded a change in your life. What steps did you take in 2017 to become the man that you are today?
Man, that's a great question, bro. The first thing, just being real with y'all, I had to get away from everybody I was around for a second and have a real honest conversation with myself. Like, all right, nobody around, no cameras. What are some of the things you don't like about yourself? What are some of the things you're insecure about? What are some of the things that you wish could be different? Who do you have around you that's really pushing you to be better? And so I had that honest conversation. And I didn't like the answers that I was giving myself, for real.
Really self-analyze.
Man, it was tough, bro. It was like, I mean, you really broke. Your business ain't doing much. You left a 6-figure career. You really in a negative $400, $500, but you on Instagram promoting positive energy. And it wasn't that, it was real. It was just like, my reality was like, I don't see the conversion here. So I had to have a real honest conversation. And this is what I got out of that. It's like, I was ready to go to the next level. I wasn't willing to go to the next level. And those are two different things, because a lot of people are ready for the success. They ready for the money. They ready for the fame. Cool. But are you willing to do what it takes? You got to sacrifice. Real sacrifice. You got to be obedient on the days you don't really feel like it. Yeah. Physical discipline, right? We talked about that before. Like, yeah, you can have all the ladies, but will you cut that part out of your life to stay extremely focused to build? These are the things I had to do. Sacrificing, fun. Man, my friends know me, man. I took like a year off. Like, look, I'm in my tunnel. Nobody getting me out this tunnel. I got to build something, because mama need a house, mama need to sit down, daddy need to sit down, family. And it was difficult. I had to let go of some of my old friends that I grew up with, that I would have took a bullet for. I had to tell them, I love you to death. But the things that you do and the way you operate, I am on such a different frequency, we don't align no more. That's a heartbreak. Yeah. You feel me? I had to go through that part where it's like, damn, I know I ain't no sellout, but I got to do what's best for me.
Not everybody can understand that.
Oh, man, I done had some real conversations. I almost came to blows with a couple cats, because these was my homies, though. Like, we went and did everything together. But once I elevated my thinking, it was like, I want to pull you up. I want you to come with me, but you can't make everybody go. And the moment I started realizing that, it was like, oh. So in my book, I talk about success is like an elevator, where when you say I want to go to the next level, you're on ground level. And think about that elevator. Every level that you go up, people come into your life to help you go to that next level. But people also get off. Yeah. And the people that get off are typically the ones that started with you. And as it's hard to see them leave, the reality is there's somebody else who just came in that's going to take you to that next level. Until you, and that process repeats until you get to what? The penthouse suite. And when you walk out, you look at the right side of the elevator like, damn, there's a capacity sign. Yeah. Everybody couldn't go.
So with you saying all that, I know you dealt with some entitlement issues.
Man, listen, I'm still dealing with those issues with people, man.
Survivor's remorse too, man.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Right. You know, there's people who feel like, because of what I'm doing and who I've become today, I owe them something.
Right.
Man, I knew you when we was growing up. Okay. Like, I was there for you. I appreciate you. Family. I changed your diaper. That's what good family members do. Yeah. Right? Like, you don't get an award for doing these things. It's like, I appreciate that. But if you don't give them, man, people call me for money. People call me for opportunities all the time.
How do you handle those situations?
Man, respecting myself enough to be like, 2, you got to set boundaries in your life. And with boundaries, that's just what it is. There's going to be people who going to try to push them. If you stand on your boundaries, less stress for you, 1. But then 2, it's like on the flip side, I can't enable you no more. Because if you keep coming to me asking me for $1 or coming to me asking me for an opportunity, you ain't gonna never try to go get it yourself. And that was one of the hardest things for me because I got a big heart. I love helping people.
Man.
But when I start saying no, I start realizing like, okay, you really just mad because I'm forcing you now to go get it on your own. But at the end of the day, you gonna respect me more.
Respect, but you start seeing how much of a whole ass nigga you.
Hey, you hear me? Listen, there's some cats where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
leeches, bro.
And it's great, like having a big heart, man. That, like you said, that was the biggest, biggest thing for me was me having a big heart and me being able to say no. Cause I will always look like, damn, these my people. Like,
Yep, facts.
Shit, I'm in a position like, damn, I gotta help.
Shit, they make you
But
feel
then-
bad.
Yeah, they
you know
gonna
what I'm
keep
saying? They
coming
Come
back
on,
to
absolutely.
you.
throwing the grief on you and
Yeah, love is beautiful. It's also dangerous,
Yeah.
right? I've had people use the "I love you" to get something out of me after I said no.
So
Like,
would you say, like I like to say, not love, but the wrong misinterpret. I'm trying to say the
Interpretation?
word. But like,
Yeah.
of love. So it's not actual love.
Yeah, they just use it against you, right? It's manipulation in love form, right? Like when you think about leeches, bro, back in the day, y'all remember Felicia on Friday?
Yeah.
Every time she came around, can I borrow your stove, your microwave? Can I get the
Bye,
whip?
Felicia.
That was leeches back in the day. They were upfront about what they want. Leeches are so advanced now. Leeches they come in the form of like best friend.
damn.
You feel me? They come in the form of like mentor. And the real good ones be like, I love you.
Yeah.
They'll lay right next to you, sucking you dry.
Call you family.
You feel me? For real, like that. But the leeches have gotten to a place to where it's like, I gotta camouflage and transform in a way to where he or she don't even know I'm about to suck them dry. And then when they done with you, it's like, damn, you ever had a breakup with somebody and not just man, boy, girls, like friendship and they just didn't care. It's like, wait a minute, 10 years in and you ain't got no feelings, no emotions. Because when you leeching, it's like, bro, I'm done. I don't really need nothing else from you. So you got to be careful of those too. And it's like, I heard somebody say, man, sometimes you got to cut off a finger to save a hand. That resonated with my spirit because it's like sometimes you got to cut off somebody you close to so that you don't lose everything else that you've been building and becoming. And that's how I live my life. Like, I love people to death, but I can't let nobody stop what God hands me on, whoever it may be.
Man, I swear, like throughout our conversations, I ain't gonna lie, I love our relationship.
Yeah,
bro.
facts.
Like,
Absolutely.
Man, anytime we get together, we just kicking it.
Genuine
talking about
love.
so much stuff.
Yep.
And then it's crazy because I learned so much from you, bro.
That's real.
Like,
Appreciate that.
One of the big things that I got from you was taking that accountability within yourself. Like, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and actually take accountability. So one of the things you said was, I want to talk about relationships.
Yep.
So when you speak on women, when you're a man at a certain caliber, you require a certain woman.
Yep.
So you said that you that you sat down and you made a list. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is all the qualities I would want in a woman.
Yep.
You wrote that list down, then you had to take accountability and look like, okay, so I got all these qualities I would want in a woman. If I was to find this woman, would she want me?
Come on, bro.
Like, would she want the man I am right now?
Yeah.
And I think that was so important because you're not taking accountability just for this woman. You take accountability within yourself. So it help you grow as a man.
Yep.
And man, that was so big on me. Like,
And that changed my world, bro. That was in 2015. I just graduated college. I got my engineering degree. I'm like, man, came out of college. I think I was making like 84 grand or something. And I'm like, bet, it's time for me to start thinking about a shorty that I can build with, right? Man, I wrote this list down, man. My girl gotta be fine, educated, smart, freak in the streets, just nasty, but a lady in the street. It's like she gotta be professional. She gotta build with me. She gotta grow. She gotta be the one submissive when I need her to. And this list was so long. And the moment I asked, I'm like, if you saw her today, would she be ready to build with you? My answer is like, nope. It made me, like that thing stuck with me to where it's like, dang.
Yeah, so
I gotta get myself together.
Can I get deeper though? Because I like to get in tune with stuff to where, you know, like you say, we bleeding.
Yep.
We showing everything.
Absolutely.
So what had you question that and made you say no?
I realized where I was
your
at.
Credit or
like I at that point of my life, bro, nothing was in place. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life for real. Credit was terrible at that time. There was no ownership of nothing. I didn't own anything at all. I still was playing around with other women, you know, and when you find a high caliber woman, there's certain things she just ain't going for, you know. And I also realized I didn't know what my purpose was at the time. And as a man, if you don't know what your purpose is, it's going to be difficult to build with somebody else or people around you. So when I started looking at it, it's like, you're not ready. Because that type of woman, she's coming to build. That quality of woman, she's coming to invest. She's coming to support something that you got going on. And I think as a lot of men, wherever we are in our maturity phase and stage in life, is like the things you want, you got to be prepared to sustain. I can get $1 million right now, but if I don't have $1 million plan, I won't sustain it. No. That's where a lot of men at, and that's where I was at. It was like, I want this girl. So I started just focusing on myself. You know what? Listen, right now, I build you. Focus on your goals and your purpose. Get your body together. Get your health together. Get your wardrobe together. Get your credit together. So when you finally meet that woman, she naturally submit because you have created an atmosphere for her to just be like, I can be just a woman around you. I ain't got to come build you up. You already put together. And those were the steps I had to take. And it was like, I mean, I became a man at 28. Where I was like, man, I'm putting childish things away. That's what manhood is to me. When you put childish things away, that's spiritual. I was a child, I walked like a child, talk like a child, act like a child. But when I became a man, I put childish things away. And at 28, I was like, I'm done playing them childish games. I'm done acting like I'm not responsible for my life and blaming everything around me. And it was like, no, this is what men do. They take accountability, they handle their responsibilities. They may not have it all together, but they working on getting it all together. And that's what I started doing at 28. And it's like, I've seen just the caliber of women who was interested, right? Like when I started to grow and it went from, man, she cute to, wait, she coming in talking about being a wife. She coming in talking about being a mom, a mother. Now it's like, I'm meeting a different caliber woman that's like, this was the woman I wrote down 8 years ago, right? And it's like, but I became the man that's attracted to that woman.
No, I ain't gonna lie, that was one of the biggest things I got,
that's real.
Because I was always, like we always be having a conversation. I'm asking them because I'm the single one in here. So I be asking them about relationships and women, and I be, you know, talking like, man, I'm dealing with these women and these women, don't nobody understand me. And I had to realize, like, I had to look at myself in the mirror, take accountability for myself. And it wasn't for the woman. It was for me, so I could be a better man. And throughout that journey of me becoming a better man, that was when the woman, I feel, is going to come across.
Absolutely. And that's it. And just to dive into that just a little bit more, relationships, period, right? That's not just man, woman. That's friendships. That's partnerships, right? Business. If you come in my book, I talk about building potluck relationships. You should feast with the person you with, but everybody got to bring something to the table. And the reality is, if you bring your best dish to the table, then you serve first, that's a different energy you're going to get in response to the person that's on the receiving end. Like, sometimes we come to the table ready to eat. It's like, you done brought your fork, knife, and your bed. You know what I'm saying? But what you really bringing? Because now I'm at a space where it's like, when you come to my table, you be like, oh, wow. Man of God, man of purpose, great character, great integrity, graduated from the street, so he's street smart, book smart, got an engineering degree, walked away from a career, built his own empire. Man, he moving so, all this, it's like, the table is filled.
So, man, with you speaking on that, I kind of want to ask you a question on, like, being a high caliber individual and having a certain mindset that's different from the way our generation is now. How do you deal with loneliness and feeling out of place and not fitting in with certain people?
Man, it's the transparent answer to that is it's tough. it's difficult until you find your tribe, right? Because the reality is when you start outgrowing your circle, your people, your community, your old ways, it's not like you outgrow them and then instantly walk into something new, right? So now you in a space where it's like, I'm around cats where I used to think that was cool, but no longer. So you got a decision to make. Either A, you gonna just keep living a lie just to make them happy, because you know you they'll question you when you start acting different. Like, listen, fellas, I ain't trying to go to the club this weekend, but we go every weekend. I know, but I just rather sit at home and do nothing, right? Versus that's one part. Or B is like, are you gonna be like, you know what, I'm growing to something different.
Yeah.
And when you elevate and grow to something different, the truth is you got to get into another space. Yeah. So when I tell people, listen, it's two different ways that I live. I get two networks. This is what changed my way of thinking like that. Because the first network is people I can pour into, people that I'm doing better than, that I can teach, I can educate, I can show things to help them grow. Then I got a network that pour into me. They doing better than me so they can elevate me. I'm in rooms with billionaires now. I never wanted to be a billionaire growing up. It was never a goal of mine. But when you get close to one and you start listening, it's like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? It's a tank, right? So once I started getting to a space where it's like I'm outgrowing my space, where I started feeling like I was the smartest in the room, that's when I realized, like, dude, you know, sometimes people say, you know, if you're the smartest in a room, you're in the wrong room. I get the intrinsic motivational piece behind that, but the reality is you won't know you're the smartest in the room until you're in a room where you feel that way. Right? So sometimes you need that experience to realize, like, okay, there's just more doors down the hall. So when I started getting into that space, it was like, I'm sure there's other people who I can talk to and be like, you know what? Let's talk about 50,000 a week versus somebody's like, man, I make 50,000 a year.
Yeah. Damn.
Right? Let's talk about building empires of generational wealth. I had a chance to sit down with a judge, and he told me, he said, man, I've been a judge for 30, 40 years. My kids are already taken care of. Damn. That changed my world. Because I'm like, I never even thought that far. So I'm in a space, and I was like, wait, we got cats out here who thinking about 4, 5 generations in, and I'm thinking about how can I get this Porsche for myself, right? Self-gain, self-gratitude. So, I started getting in the space where it's like, just start doing research. That's the issue. We got these smartphones. We got this world of digital world we in. I was like, dude, there's people right here in your city, right here in close proximity, that's doing what you want to do.
What's the most influential book you read? And then like,
oh man, that's a good one.
And then like, when you read it, what did you how did you apply it to your life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, my favorite book of all time that I read, it's called Healing the Living Dead. That's my book, by the way. It's a bestseller, man. Go get that thing. But
shout out
you feel me? Best-selling author, man, for sure. But no, seriously, my favorite book is my favorite book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Highly Successful People. The reason why is because these 7 habits, man, it gave me something I can implement in life. You know, like understanding beginning with the end in mind, realizing the bigger picture is beautiful, great, but you still got to work to get there, right? Put first things first, understanding, prioritize your priorities. I live a life right now where everything I do is serious. I don't play no games. Everything I do is intentional, but I can't do everything at the same time. Right? And there's some things that's just a little bit more important than the other one. So I had to sit down and start saying, people are like, man, you do all this stuff. I don't. I do one thing. I execute. That's it. Yeah, I'm an international speaker. I'm a best-selling author. Yeah, but that didn't come in the same year. All this stuff happened year after year after year. So that book, them 7 habits, man, really allowed me to take that information and apply it to my life. It was like, man, if I just start here and I change the way I think, and then I do this little by little. That's one of my favorite books. I tell everybody, read that book, man. Like, it's an easy read, it's simple, but it's effective. And that book right there, I try to get everybody to read that book. If they're readers, that's a book that I think could change your life for real.
For sure.
Yeah. You speak on this one quote, like I told you, when we talk, man, you always leave me with something that had me thinking that changed my damn life. One thing you said, perspective doesn't change what you see, it changes how you see it.
Yeah.
So can you speak on that?
Absolutely, man. Everything is it's all about perspective. Life is about perspective.
Definitely.
That's the truth. Perspective, it doesn't change what you see, it changes the way you see things. Let's say if it's raining, I can't stand the rain. I don't like getting wet, clothes get sticky. To me, it's terrible. Mm-hmm. And I used to wake up and be like, man, it's raining. Damn. My whole mood thrown off. Like, Mother Nature's doing his job, bro. It's been raining way before I've been here. Yep. But I get outside, I'll get to the window and see the rain, and it instantly changed how I felt. That's an issue. So I changed my perspective. Like, I'm not going to complain about the rain. I'm going to just go get me an umbrella. Yep. Let me go find a tool that I need to get equipped to get through this day, even though it's raining, so that my chances of getting wet are less, and I can still do what I got to do. Perspective.
Sometimes that tool can be a mindset, though.
Well, most of the times it's the mindset.
It's like, shit, you can look at a rainy day as a good day or a bad day, bro. It's just another day.
That perspective, right? Yeah. That's good right there. Because what most people, and in my space now where I'm at, everything I look at, I tell people all the time, I never lose. I win or I learn. Simple. I never lose. I win or I learn. I may not have gotten everything I wanted out of this situation, but I got enough to learn because I'm going to come back to it. Right? Because if I'm persistent enough, if I wanted enough, but I got some more experience. Mm-hmm. I got some more, okay, cool. So I'm going to see you again. Whatever this issue is, whatever this battle is, whatever this opportunity, I'm going to see it again. And I'm going to see it with more information and experience. So the mindset, bro, is everything but perspective. The way you look at things, I don't complain.
Yeah. So one thing that I started to do to like kind of reframe my way of thinking and change my mindset was I listened to a lot of motivational speakers. So I listened to Les Brown, Miles Monroe. Yeah. Listening to Les Brown, I understood exactly what you say. Like certain things that you would look at as an issue. Yeah. When you don't have a certain mindset, you got to kind of reframe your thinking to look at it. If an issue come up, you got to automatically look for a solution.
Absolutely.
Like you say with the umbrella. So with that, like, a lot of problems I come across is with me having a mindset and taking that time to understand certain things. Mm-hmm. The people that's around me, like my family, my friends, relationships, whatever, it's hard to try to explain certain things to people and they just don't get it. Yeah. So how did you like deal with having a certain mindset and being around people and trying to build them up and get them to have this mindset?
Listen, I want to give y'all this. You don't get stronger lifting dead weight. You don't. This is where a lot of people struggle when it comes to trying to build up the people around them that just don't understand, that they're not listening. You don't get stronger lifting dead weight. Think of a pallbearer. When they lifting up that casket for the last time, they ain't smiling, they crying. That dead weight is hurting them. Every step they get to that hearse, right? That's how a lot of people are. You are walking this dead weight to a dead situation, but you still holding on to it. I got to a space where it's like, I'm not about to put this much energy into somebody who don't want to understand. It's a difference from somebody who's willing to listen and learn and just don't get it, but they trying. Versus, I'm telling you this 4 or 5 times. It's cool. I'm not talking to no wall. It don't talk back. I've tried it. You feel me? I tried it. So I got into that space where it's like, I'm at a space now where it's like, dude, the frequency I'm on, the mission and assignment God has me on, I got to be very careful how much time I spend in a certain space. Because sometimes we accomplish the mission. We'll get what we need. And then we'll sit and try to wait for everybody else to come forward. It's like, to your point, listen, the Bible say lean not on your own understanding, bro. You don't need to understand everything. That's where we go wrong. It's like, you don't get it. I'm not your therapist. I love you though. And I hope that you get the healing that you need to get cool. But I'm not your therapist here. I'm not your coach for this season. I'm not the one that's going to give you the understanding. I'm going to pray for you. But I got to keep moving. So I don't try to understand everything anymore. I used to. You kill yourself. You're stressed out about somebody else who's sleeping. They snoring at night. Well, you up stressing about them not getting it. Don't make sense. So, I just got to that space where it's like, man, the things that are supposed to happen, the connections that are supposed to be made, the people that's supposed to follow my leadership and vice versa, it's going to happen. Because we can't stop what God got for us.
Yeah, because me and Cash, we speak on that a lot. Like
that's
we
real.
Talking about, well, all of us, like our whole movement is we want to reach the youth.
Yeah.
Like we see that the youth have no type of guidance, no type of mentorship, so we try to reach out to the youth. I thought about that because, like we was talking the other day, when we go play basketball, there's a lot of youth in there that's just angry. We playing basketball, they mad as hell, trying to fight everybody. So I got to understand it, like, oh man, they just going through something. Like they got some type of healing they got to reach. So it's other people around me that's lashing out with them too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish y'all could just understand, like this person is going through something. They got shit they got to heal from.
Yeah.
You got shit you got to heal from. So it's hard just being around that environment and you have an understanding, like, yo, all you got to do is spend time with yourself. You got to do this. You got to deal with that, and they don't get it. So
they gotta want it too. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, they have to want it. If you don't want it for you, I promise you I won't want it for you. Like the moment I know you don't want it for you, then that's fine. Because at the end of the day, you're a grown man. Or you're gonna grow into a grown man.
Yeah.
And what I'm telling you may not work now. But don't worry, in 10 years, it's gonna hit you. I mean, I remember when Keyon was telling me I should let go. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna call me like, bro, all right, now we can talk. 10 years from now. But if I would have stayed in that spot for 10 years, trying to pull you, you would have never got it. And I would have wasted my time. So, yeah, bro, that's real.
So I want to speak a little bit more on discipline.
Yeah.
I know we spoke on it a little earlier in the show. How did you take your journey, your fitness journey, and take the discipline from getting in the gym and building the body that you want to your everyday life and to your business?
Man, that's a great question, bro. So I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. People, how did I get motivated to get in the gym, bro? One day I got out the shower and said, ugh. Like, ugh. I looked at myself like, dog, these rolls in your stomach and ain't no way the shorties like this. I'm like, that's just me being honest. I was like, ugh. Disgusted. I don't even know how I let myself go. And I was like, all right, time for a change. The next day I'm in the gym. Don't know what I'm doing, no experience at all, no coach. I'm like, I'm just going to the gym because I know the gym is gonna get me the body I want. And after failing for so long, I was like, you know what? It's time to get a coach. I got me a trainer, fell in love with the process, start becoming just obsessed with it because it was like, dude, if you take care of your temple, a lot of things around you will change. I mean, your mental change, your energy change, your performance change. People look at you. Man, I get respected in areas most people will never get respected. I've gotten $1,000 speaking engagements, 10,000, 5,000 speaking just because I'm a bodybuilder. They don't care about nothing else. They don't care about all the work I've done, the kids' lives I've changed, nothing. You a bodybuilder, really? Oh, cool. Come on, I never met a bodybuilder. It's cool. So when I walk in a room and I'm suited, or not even suited, whatever I got on, I know that people are about to look at me and be like, dude, I like how you look. Let me talk to you. People will treat you differently when you get discipline in your life. So that discipline, I learned 3 things in the gym: hard work, consistency, and discipline. Those are life transferable skills. So what I was able to do was take those to my relationship with God, my relationships with my family and my friends, to my actual business. I didn't want to train people. I never had any thought of training folks, fitness. I was like, I'm doing this for me, bro. I want to look good for the ladies. That's what was, and it was like, no. People's like, can you train me? No, I'm good. I don't do this for y'all. I do this for me. And somebody's like, yeah, I'll pay you. Oh, really? Cool, right? Like, all right, let me go ahead and really look into my craft now. You know, studying, make sure you get your certification and you get on. And once I start doing that, man, and then I start seeing other people's lives change physically, then they're happier. Women are happier. They're better girlfriends, better wives, better mothers, because they feel better. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you produce better results in life. This is what I I train folks. We don't train just to physically look good. It's like, no, because you can look good and be empty on the inside. And that's the worst thing too. So for me, it's like discipline is knowing when and when not to do something. That's the concept of discipline. I look at people like, man, so you really mean to tell me that you gonna eat McDonald's knowing it ain't good for you? The bad habit ain't you eat McDonald's. It's the fact that you know that McDonald's ain't good for you and you still decided to eat it. That's the bad habit I'm trying to shift, right? And that's just for food. But what about relationships? This day one friend since elementary school ain't supported you in 10 years. And the only response you got is, but I've known her since elementary. Dude. So the goal of being disciplined is like, that's the difference from, hey, Keyon, are you going to take your business to, you done made 6 figures for yourself, but what about all the people that's been helping you grow this business? Yeah. Now let's focus on the team. Now let's start putting other people in positions to win, because I got a discipline a level of discipline I never had before. So discipline goes so deep in everything you're doing, man. And I mean, physically it changed my life, but mentally it changed, emotionally it changed my life, spiritually it changed my life. And I tell people, without discipline, nothing else will be sustainable in your life. It don't matter how great it is. If you're not disciplined with it, at some point you're gonna fumble that thing. And that's why I value it so much. Like,
So what's some ways that someone that lacks discipline can gain discipline and get their life, you know what I'm saying, on the right path?
The first thing is understanding when to use it. And what I mean by that is, you cannot prepare for growth. There's going to be some, when they see this clip, I'm going to get some people going to disagree with me. Please feel free. You cannot prepare for growth. Growth happens in the midst of the adversity or opportunity. Think about it. I want more patience. I want to grow in my patience. Cool. You not going to get better at patience sitting at home by yourself around nobody. When you get out, somebody say, hey, listen, you want to go out and have some drinks? Bam, I just said I was on a 30-day fast from drinks. It's only one drink though. You right, it's only one drink. You just broke your discipline. Right? Or it's like, everybody say beginning of the new year, I'm gonna drop 15 pounds for the new year. I'm gonna hit the gym. Mid-February, everybody I saw in the gym on January 1st, they're no longer there.
That's so the new year around springtime.
he said, I already put that out there, right? So that's the first thing, is knowing when it's time to implement discipline. That's the first thing. We just think you wake up and be disciplined. You don't. You got to let that opportunity come for you to be disciplined. That's the first thing. Another thing I did that helped me a lot was, like, every day I ask myself, how did I get 1% better today? Like, I didn't create 1% better for the world, bro. I created this for me. So I'm like, how did I get 1% better? So if I'm not getting 1% better, that means it's due to my lack of discipline. Did you read more? Did you get up earlier like you said you was gonna do? Did you put more hours into the business? Like, the things you don't do, it's a lack of discipline. So I started to ask myself that question. It's like, okay. Then every day I'm watching myself get better, just a little bit more, like more discipline. Getting up early. I didn't want to get up 5, 6 in the morning. I didn't want to. Yeah. But then I started realizing, like, dude, if you don't get up when the world is still asleep, the moment you wake up, everybody calling you. So I had to get disciplined. How did I do that? All right, if I'm getting up at 7, let me start getting up at 6:45. No. And then 6:45, let me start getting up at 6:30. They was like, you know what, let's go ahead and push it. Let's get up at 6. It's tough getting up at 6 o'clock. So I had to start realizing I get up at 6 and I hit the snooze. It's like, oh, I get up at 6:10. What I started to do was, discipline leads to having strategy too, right? I was like, man, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna put a cup of water on the other side of the room. And when I get up, I'm immediately go get up, drink that water. Because when you drink water, what it does is it activates your body. You can't go back to sleep. That's for anybody who want to figure out how to get up earlier. Put you a cup of water, bottled water at the other side of the room. Get up, have sleep. It don't matter, yawn and anything. Once you drink your water, I guarantee you won't be able to go back to sleep.
Oh, shit.
I started hitting myself with a different strategy, but that strategy only came through me being disciplined to make the strategy work. So that's what started to help me. It was like, man, find small tactics on how you can be better in whatever area you need to be disciplined in. And don't try to cold turkey it if you don't got to.
I like that, man, because I fucked around. I told myself, like, man, I'm going to start going to the gym, like, right after work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start packing a bag and basically taking it to work with me. So way, I ain't about to just go home, sit around, get a chance to lounge around, and then, never
it's over. Absolutely. So, that's real.
Atomic habits.
I got 2 questions for you, bro, because it seemed like you said, you execute, and that's cool, but, like, so where's the balance as far as, like, do you have fun? Like, do you enjoy yourself? Like, how you?
It's a great question, man.
How you go about doing that?
It's a great question. And this is my honest truth in my world. I don't believe when you talking about becoming elite, I don't believe that there's no balance on the way there. I just personally don't. Now, when you get there, you do whatever you want to do. But on the way to becoming elite, I'm not talking about being just good. I'm not talking about being great. I'm talking about being elite. That's going to be remembered forever.
Go back to our parents who taught us, you know what I'm saying? They said handle business first, then fun.
Listen, that's the way I live my life. I just don't believe there's room for the balance of certain things. My life is fun because I'm doing what I'm called to do.
Yeah.
So I don't go to a job that I hate. I don't have a supervisor. I'm the CEO, right? So my life is different versus somebody who don't love what they do. So I get to talk to people. I love relationship building and traveling the world. So for me, it's still work in my purpose. It's just fun to do. Yep. But I'm not going to take off from what, it don't make sense to me. Because again, if I don't do what I have to do, somebody will literally die. This ain't just me talking. I had people call me like, I'm about to kill myself. And you're the only positive person that I know. Mind you, I never met this person a day in my life. I also had men call me and say, you saving my marriage. I'm like, dude, I'm a single man. Ain't never been married. How? He's like, but the things you talk about, I implement them and my wife is seeing me. Because so for me, the balance that most people think they need, that's for them. Because they want to make good money and live a good life. But when it comes to being elite, I'm so obsessed with what I got to do.
It's like that Kobe mentality.
That's it. And I got the book. I got this book right on the table. It's like understanding that is like, but then you got to think about it. How many Kobe's you got in the league? Right? Like, so, but I'm talking that level of elite, not just you got a good job, you make some good money, you cool. Nothing wrong with that. Live your life. But for me, when it's all said and done, I want to be on that Mount Rushmore.
That's why I had asked that question earlier, because our generation, bro, like you say, fun for them. Yeah, it's going out.
For sure. What you celebrating? You party every weekend.
Yes.
But you gotta, damn, I spent $200, man. I gotta. Well, we celebrate, right? Yeah. I just don't believe it. I used to, and I'm not knocking anybody to do it. Do your thing, live your life. People say life is short. I disagree. I think life is just valuable. We all got a due date and a death date. What you do in between, that's what that hyphen is for. That's the way I live my life. But I just know that while I'm here, I just lost my father. My father was 59. That's young. You feel me? I'm looking at it like, whoa. What if you was to go at 59? That's only a little bit over 20 years. Why you wasting time, right? Yeah. That's the way I live, bro.
So one thing. You go.
My bad. So like, 2021. What was that? Forbes list.
Yeah.
How that feel, man? How that feel making that
Forbes
list?
30 under 30.
Yeah.
Sir, man.
It was a thank you,
my brother.
I appreciate that, man. It
Definitely got to give you your flowers.
Man, that's I'm still in awe, because that, as of right now, that's one of my top 3 greatest accomplishments of my life. And it's so interesting, just backtracking. In 2019, I went on an 86-stop international tour. Went crazy with the speaking. Boom, Keyon Clinton is here. We have arrived. 2020, the pandemic hit. I lost $86,000. I lost everything that I owned because my greatest strength became my greatest weakness. I had to be in a room. I'm speaking, pouring, connected with folks. I got to be in a room for you to understand. Crush me.
80 bands.
80 bands. Tight. Listen.
It's crazy.
And man, I'm telling people, no matter how much money I make, I'm not the type to gonna sit here and act like losing 10,000 don't hurt, right? Like anything like that. So we lost the money, and I remember I sat in a room. I sat at home in my living room for 12 days straight. No TV, no mute, nothing. In the dark. I'm talking to God, like, what we about to do? I got 2 55-inch whiteboards at home. I erased them both. God said, I told you this already in 2017. You so busy chasing the big things. I just got off an 86 stop international tour. At this point, I'm the man. That's how I'm feeling in my head. Like, dude, self-promoted, no PR, nothing like that, right? So I'm in a space, God said, everything that you are doing is for you. You're speaking for you, for your name to blow up, for you to get money. You're doing bodybuilding for you to get the physique. He said, it's time for you to rebrand, revamp. That's when I birthed 1% Better Nation in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. You feel me? And since then, I created 5 entities. Everything I created was to help other people live. My Speakers Academy is for you to learn how to speak so you can get better. My speaker conference for you to get on stage to start telling your story. My university for you to get your professional portfolio so that you can go out here and ask for 5, 10, 100,000. It don't matter. The nation, I did this for other people. So when I stopped focusing on self and start creating entities to help other people, I mean, 6, 7 months, numbers went crazy. Impact went crazy. And Forbes, they reached out. It's like, damn, we got this next 1,000 entrepreneurs out of everybody over the world. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't want to cut you
off. No, you good.
But like you said life is about perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Is it also about like creating those entities though, like to help others though?
Come on, bro.
Because it seemed like your elevation just go through the roof as soon as you do shit like that, or you helping the public, or you. Facts. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. It's all genuine.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm
Absolutely. Man, I'm from the streets for real. Okay, like I started selling drugs at 9. I got into the dope game quick. My cousins told me everything I need to know. My OG told me some of the realest things. He said, listen. He said, if you are the only one eating and the people around you are starving, you become food.
Yep.
Man, I've been learning these lessons since I was a little boy. Yeah. So now, even now, it's like, if you're the only one, Keyon, making 6 figures, you got the rollie, you winning, you successful, but you got people that are close to you watching you and only you shine, they get bitter. They get envy. They get jealous.
I listen to Nicky Johnson a lot. One of the biggest things I got, and a lot of people don't understand it, and that's why I be feeling out of place, is the quote he said that I try to live my life by is, as long as you make sure somebody else's life is okay, you gotta always make sure your life is okay.
That's facts.
And I think that's like you hit it on the key, man.
Yep.
Like it's been situations where I go through certain stuff, and in the end, God always put me in a position to make something happen because I always look out for other people, and it's genuine.
Yeah.
Like he was saying.
It's better to give than receive.
On the back end, as far as y'all too, because I know y'all both help a lot of people. Y'all both lend out, probably money and whatever, But so in order to get to that position though, would y'all both agree that, like, you know what I'm saying, like y'all had to be somewhat of a selfish person starting off?
I don't listen. Here's my take on it. I don't believe there's ever a time to be selfish. I just don't believe it. That's just how I live.
What you mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do believe that you have to take care of yourself. I do believe that you got to make sure that you're good first. Yeah. Always. This ain't Keyon talking, it's spiritual. The Bible says save yourself for your own salvation. I can't get you in heaven, bro. Pastor can't get you in, nobody, right? So if the Bible tell you save yourself so that you good when it's all said and done, that's how I live now. I'm just in a position where, because I've done the internal work, because I positioned myself to be good, there's been plenty of times where I gave out my last, for sure. Yeah. But I was hurting on the back end. Yeah. Like, dog, I gave him my last and now my rent due, But what I also learned is there's times where it's like, I can't give you this because I got to make sure that my bills are intact. Yep. I can't sacrifice my time. Right now, being real, I don't have the capacity, as much capacity as I did before my father passed. So I'm now in a space where I'm telling folks, like, hey, listen, right now I don't feel like talking. I know you got something heavy on your mind. Yep. It ain't selfish. It's just me understanding I got to take care of self. You got to love you more than anybody else love you. And sometimes loving you means I can't do it. Yeah. I won't do it. And that's not selfish at all. That's just taking care of self. So I don't believe it's a time to be selfish. Now, have I been selfish? Absolutely. It took me a while to get here, but I've been selfish, and it did nothing it didn't better me at all. Right. I just held on to something a little bit longer. That's really what it was.
I ain't gonna lie, I disagree on that.
Okay.
And the reason I disagree is because I feel like with everything I do, a lot of the stuff I do, as far as like helping people, I'm selfish. Yeah. Because most of the time it's for helping people, but a lot of times it's for me because of the way it make me feel.
Right.
Like when I help certain people and I do
I
certain
don't think
things,
that's-
I'm
I don't
selfish
think that's
because.
selfish, though.
But that's
I think
that's
that's
real. That's your
it's
respect. I don't
perspectives.
think it's
It's kinda
selfish either. But
perspectives.
that's his perspective.
I don't think that's selfish.
It's-
Dog. I
it's
just think that's
giving.
like
It's just
a
being a
get-off,
good person.
It's your
It's just
heart,
like,
bro.
That's just what warms your heart.
Yeah,
You got
for
a
sure.
good heart, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with give. It's going to. This is spiritual. The Bible says better to give than receive.
Right.
That's what you're doing,
No,
right? You're giving because what it's making you, what it's help. If you ain't have it to give, you probably wouldn't give it. You probably wouldn't be like, I ain't got $20, but let me go talk to 30 people to try to get $20 for it. No, but you in a position because you took care of self to be able to say, let me give you this. Let me show you this resource. So that's why it's all perspective for me. It's like, you know, I just don't think I didn't say you can't be selfish. I just don't think there's a time in life to be selfish when you were not created to be selfish. This is why when God made Adam, Adam had everything. Think about it. Adam named the entire world, bro. Yeah. He literally had everything in his hands, real dominion. What God do? Said this ain't good. It's not good for man to be by self.
Give me your rib.
Come on. You hear me? Like if God is saying you got everything in the world, but it's not good for man to be self, what are we being selfish for?
He said, give me that young bull.
You feel me? Like, so at that point, I started like, Keyon, give. So this year, I've been praying to God. God, I want to be a bigger blessing. I want to give so much. This is why I'm blessed. We fed 500 people for Thanksgiving, bro. Mm-hmm. We gave away 150 we gave gifts to 150 families for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? We always go out and give the homeless hats, scarves, and gloves. We do senior expos every month for free. People don't, like, we out here putting in work. Things that people get on the news for, we just like, no, we just gonna do the work.
Yeah.
People that people want the work, no, we just gonna get out here and do the work. Because at the end of the day, just give. I'm in a position to do it. And it comes back, but there's no reason for me to be selfish, man. When God blessed me the way that he has, I just take care of myself first, though. Like now, I gotta be good to give you this. You can't pour from an empty cup, but you also can't pour into a filled cup either. And most times we filled up with so much BS, so much stress, right?
That's
so much
crazy.
pain and hurt, and it's like you can't receive nothing because you feel with all of this stuff.
Overflow me.
Come on, you feel me?
That's crazy
it,
you
bro.
said that because I always heard that from people. Like, you can't pour from an empty cup. That was the first time I ever heard.
Yeah, you can't pour into a filled cup either.
Damn.
Oh, listen, these words different, ain't they?
Man, so there's two things I want to touch on, man. So first off, when you say you had lost 80,000 before the pandemic, during the pandemic, I ain't gonna lie, man. One thing I would have did, you know, with being a bodybuilder, man, I went with the Pornhub, have my shirt off. I want all of it, motivational. No, but I wanted to touch, go back to when you talk about discipline. So one thing I know a lot of us could relate to was us growing up around all women.
Yep.
So me, like growing up around all women, I'm more connected to women than dudes. And I love that because when you speak on discipline, I learned so much discipline from a woman.
That's real.
And then you said that you started to talk to God and you was asking God like, okay, I'm so blessed. Now it's time for me to put other people on.
Yep.
I know with 1% Better Nation, like your whole team is all women.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
can you speak on like
For sure.
building up women?
Man,
and of course, having women
it's
around.
amazing, bro. I grew up, the women in my family, they the gangsters, you hear me? Yeah, like for real. Like, no, for real, take your head off, for real. They crazy. But I grew up with strong, powerful women. My mother, so strong, all my aunts. And I've just always wanted to be around strong, powerful women. And now, even in business, I have a team, my staff, my team, they all women. And I love it. It's the best position I can be in. But it's interesting because I grew up using women, manipulating women, sleeping with a lot of them, you know, taking from them. And guys like,
damn, Keyon.
Oh, I know, right? It's in the book, by the way. Trust me, go get it. It's transparency, right? So I literally, it was so interesting when I started to build and grow. And I was like, wait a minute, God, why is it that all women are supporting me? Right, the most, my majority. And as I started to mature, I started to grow, I started to listen and learn and talk to these women. I started realizing like why, because women love a man. Like if you are a man, bro, they love to be next to a man they can respect, they can trust, they can, you know, lean on, all that. And for me, I just operate with women better too. Women, they're nurturers. They're super oriented, detailed. They get it done.
You working with men, bro.
Ego and pride. Ego. Man, I try to work with a lot of men, and I do in some capacity.
A lot more than that too. Bro.
Oh, for sure. For the cameras, ego and pride, right? But with men, you got to deal with a lot of stuff. Cats will size you up quickly.
Facts.
Man, they got a rolling on, got diamonds. You got the, it's like, but like this rolling to me don't mean what it mean to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up my whole life street dude. Every street dude dream is to get a roller. When I got it, I didn't make no posts. I didn't like, oh, listen, let me call my camera girl. Hey, come, let's go to the store. No. But I've always wanted it. But the process of getting it, I got mature. To where it's like, I'm not getting it because to show off to the world. I understand that it's really an asset if you think about it. But when you get next to women, back to the business joint, I have women around me now in my company who care about me so much that they won't let just anything or anybody do anything to me, right? They're protective, great. They're detail oriented, awesome. They pay attention to things I can't see. I got blind spots, but I know one of them got me, right? And to me, it just makes things better. Women love to support a lot more than guys. And I'm in a space now where I'm building men, right? I'm helping men with conversations with a black man. But what I learned, women show up. They do. But it also teaches you discipline. Because again, I'm a single man. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm the #1 eligible bachelor in Michigan. I know you feel that way, but I feel like I am too. No disrespect to you, man.
I'll take number 2.
I'll take number 2. It's cool.
No, I'm 1 1/2.
So you get around, and I've had my fair share of women coming around me with motives.
Yeah.
Ulterior motives. Like, look, I'm gonna get close so that I can get close. I'm gonna join the team so that I can, and it's like when they get close and be like, no, it ain't that.
Yeah.
2 things happen. Number 1, they be like, oh, you a man for real. You stand on what you, absolutely. Or the second thing happen is like they get in their feelings and they walk away.
Shit, I ain't there yet.
It's not easy.
You want to toss that more? Yeah, I'll take that more.
Yeah, thank you, by the way. And so being around women has helped me and shaped me so much as a man, right? And areas that being around men couldn't. And, obviously you get a lot of things from being around good brothers and great energy and men for sure. But when you're around women, there's a lot you got to start looking at perspective. It's like, I can't talk to you any kind of way.
Yep.
I can't treat you any kind because you're a woman. We can yell, argue, and come to blows if we need to. And then tomorrow we back here like, man, bro, you know what? I'm sorry, bro. Like, you still my brother. I didn't yell at somebody on my team. They're like, I just thought you loved me and cared about it. It's like, you know what? I apologize, right? Like, it teaches you how to be masculine and mature while still holding and dealing with something so fragile. Being patient. So it helps me in the business grow just because of the atmosphere that I'm around of women. And I love it, honestly. And I'm thinking the next 10 people I get, they gonna be women too. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah.
I love it, man. Like the relationship with women, like, man, I learned so much when it comes to women. Like my sisters, I got 6 sisters, man. I'm the only boy.
Lord. I had no sisters growing up.
Damn, I got 6. And my sister, man,
Damn,
like,
bro,
if it wasn't for them,
6 sisters.
6 sisters, bro, I'm the only boy. If it wasn't for them,
6? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Man, I wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
That's real.
Like, if it wasn't for my sisters. Like, my sister hold everything down for me. Like me, the reason I feel like I'm not farther as I should be is because I lack structure and I lack some form of discipline.
That's real.
And that structure, honestly, I feel comes from a woman. So with me, like the conversations that we have, that's why I appreciate it so much, because it's changed me as a man for the better. Because I understand, like, if I keep moving the way I move and doing certain things I do, then I'm gonna stay in the same position I'm in. I know it's important to be, like, if you, somebody said that you a fool if you keep on doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome.
Come on, man.
So I appreciate, like, our conversations and everything so much, because it's making me a better person for real.
Yeah, you spit some fire today.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. That's what it's about, man. That's what 1% Better is about.
Yes, sir.
How are you getting better daily as a better man, better son, a better brother, sister, woman, business person, just overall human being? Man, this is life we talking about.
No.
We ain't talking about tying our shoes, bro. You can wake up every day with a blindfold and figure that thing out. We talking about life.
No.
That's changing every day.
Every day.
You're not perfect. You don't need to be. God is. Throw that off the table.
So what is it? It was an event that you had that, man. I love that event.
Yeah.
Just because like it was brothers getting together, and certain stuff I'd be scared to be vulnerable about. It was other men speaking on.
Yep.
Like growner men, elder men. So I'm like, damn, they going through exactly what I'm going through. So I know you hosting the event. You want to speak about that?
Absolutely, man. March 11th, we having our second annual Men Empowerment Conference. So I would love for y'all to be in the room. But this year's theme is, are we thinking with the right head? And the conversation is about to get so intense because at the end of the day, for most men, if we look at through history, some of the greatest men got knocked off because they was thinking with the wrong head. And this position
about women or what?
About women, absolutely, right? And it's like
Kingdoms knocked down.
listen, all the way. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can go back as far as we want to go.
I follow you, bro.
You feel me? And it's like
Yeah.
one decision with the wrong head, your reputation. And if we don't have this conversation about how can we be better, how can we be more disciplined, right? Think about it. The more discipline that we can actually implement in our lives, the better men we'll be, the better fathers we'll be, the better brothers we'll be, the better leaders we'll be, which means there's not a lot of young cats or older cats going to jail. We have more jobs. This world will be a safer place for real. You know what I'm saying? So this conversation is going to be intense. It's going to be deep. It's going to be real because that's the only way I can be. And this time I'm doing something different. I'm allowing women to come and listen. Listen.
He said, listen.
Okay. Listen. Because you know they got a lot to say. But we're going to do something for y'all 2 weeks later. Don't worry. But right now, this is an opportunity for y'all to come and listen and understand that we are having these conversations and we are trying to figure out a way on how we can just be better overall. Because a lot of us haven't been taught that. We just got through to the wolves, you know, and we made a way. So we're not here to judge. We're not here to, laugh at nobody's pain or anything like that. It's like, no, come tell your story. And we hope and pray that it inspires somebody else and ignites somebody else to be like, man, I dealt with that before 10 years ago, 5 years ago. This is how I got through it. And now we can start moving with a solution-oriented mindset and be like, let's be better together, right? So that's what the Men Empowerment Conference is about, man, on March 11th.
Oh, man, I love it.
Yes, sir.
So,
we'd be
for
there
all
for
our
sure, for sure.
followers, where can they actually get tickets and register?
Absolutely, man. Listen, we everywhere. You can Google Keyon Clinton. You can Google Men Empowerment Conference Detroit, Instagram, Keyon Clinton, any social media site, Men Empowerment Conference, man. Type it in, you will see it come up. Ticket link is in my bio. They're only $40. If you bring 2 people, it's $75. So bring a friend, at the end of the day. And come listen to what we got to talk about. I promise you're going to leave empowered and inspired. And you're going to build some connections with folks because we're going to make sure we have a networking piece for folks to really just build and connect so that we can all grow to that next level.
Well,
dope,
we
man.
appreciate you, my
Appreciate
brother.
you for coming
Thank
on.
you.
man.
I want to let y'all know he ain't the only bodybuilder in this world. I just got a big shirt on.
He said, don't get it confused, all right?